Okay, what is up, guys? We got a late Sunday night stream for One Piece 1167. And as usual, we're going to jump right into it. Let me know what you guys think about this chapter in the comments. Ida's son. Okay. We got a cute little cover request here by Ideal Sanji. A cat is scolded for stealing a book, but Jen and Nojiko aren't mad because it's little Nami, and Nami's a little cat burglar. All right. So 33 years ago, we kind of left off with Rocks being dead, right? I'll believe it when I see it. Um, and the pirates escaping, and seems like people are fleeing from God Valley. Seems like we're getting close to wrapping up. Yeah, 33 years ago, 5 years after God Valley. I could have sworn pirates were approaching off the shore. And we got big news, Morgan. But there was something huge and shadowy emerging from the mist behind them. Guys, I don't know who brought it up, but the giant shadows around Jaya and like Skypiea, like were those Domi reversied like giants into demons, right? Like you see where I'm getting at. I forget who said it. I didn't make that up, but I swear I heard that. Uh, a post God Valley world, but it's already a post God Valley world because it was hidden from everybody. So that's a given. The underwater prison impelled down. Everything just went kaboom after that. Our ship was in ruins before we knew it. We were nothing but fish food. Sure it wasn't a Sea King attack? No way, it was shaped like a human. Dude, we're getting into it. All right, I'm excited. Don't tell me you were in the infamous waters of the Florian Triangle. Fat chance. We don't fish near that region. Everyone knows to avoid it. Anyway, that monstrous thing was definitely human like. Got different journalists. We're spinning a tale here. Yeah. During this period, a rumor began to circulate. Among the Grand Line countries, they said a monster lurked deep in the foggy seas, targeting pirate crews. We got it looks like what looks like to be a giant Viking ship here in the shadows. And it's King Harold, man. The identity of that monster was none other than Harold. Few who sailed those waters had ever seen a giant with their own eyes, so to them, he was nothing less than the very embodiment of fear. He's pissed, man. We talked about this last stream too, in last chapter. Like, Harold is what I could only describe as like projecting in some sense because he sees a bit of himself in Rox in a way that Rox wanted to change something. He wanted to do something, and Harold let his friend die. Or sorry, I misspoke. He was so mad at the other giant and giants in general for their misdeeds and their misdoings against humanity because he feels that he himself has had, a misdeed, a misgiving, and that his friend needed his help, in Rocks, and he wasn't there for him. So when he sees evil in other giants, I think his fury is coming from the fact that he sees that same evil within himself. And it creates this really interesting conversation about like, you know, are the giants just inherently bad people? And of course, you would be like, well, no. The same way, like, are people inherently bad? I would say no. Um, you know, uh, eh, as psychology will tell you, who you are is a mix of genetics and your own personality and what you bring to the world. And the other part of it is how the world shapes you as well. So I think the world that the Giants lived in were, a world where violence, unfortunately, was a great solution to solving problems, as we have seen in our own world, unfortunately. So this is interesting. The identity of that monster was none other than Harold. Yeah, few who sailed those waters have ever seen a giant with their own eyes. So to them, he was nothing less than the embodiment of fear. Harold now worked in the shadows to back up the Navy as part of his atonement for the last 1,000 years of history. See, there's a grief here, there's a shame, there's a guilt that Harold is feeling. The God Valley has really introduced some of the best characters in the entire series. Like, I think, up there with like Garp, especially being had one of the greatest character moments in Marineford, whether it good or bad, whether that makes him a good or bad person, he was dealing with conflict. And as readers of stories, we like conflict, especially when it comes to the inner machinations of our favorite characters. Meanwhile, the pirates who had gone their separate ways after God Valley continued to rise in prominence, and over the next decade or so, each of them would peak to become a defining face of their generation. And we have Kaido, Whitebeard, Big Mom. Uh, we got Shiki, and we got the guy with the long tongue. I forget his name. I'm bad with names. Most of these pirates simply clashed over territory. However, one crew broke through all the others and achieved a feat long believed impossible. They circumnavigated the entire world, and we know who it is. It's the Roger Pirates. They were hailed as the crew of the king of the pirates, Gold Roger. The public execution of the captured pirate king was meant to serve as a spectacle, a display of the world government's power. However, the world was plunged into even greater turmoil as countless souls set out in pursuit of the vast treasure Roger left behind, the One Piece. No one had anticipated the advent of the Great Pirate Era. Navy headquarters found itself caught off guard as a result. More than 10 giants were drafted into the Marines from all over the world in an effort to consolidate strength. During this stretch of time, Harold waited on the Navy hand and foot. Did you see how huge he was? He's an ancient giant. I want to make him my slave. In that very year, he was finally granted formal permission to visit the Holy Land. This is the most we've gotten from the narrator in a really long time. And this is interesting that we're getting like, it seems like Oda is like, hey, kids or adults, whatever, if you're just joining in, here's a little bit of backstory. Because we already know this stuff, obviously. A shallow sea contract? That is correct. We have Saturn here. Consider yourself the right hand of the God's Knights. God's steel. It's a great honor. What was the tattoo that the other God's Knights has? Is that the same one that Harold has? I'd have to go back and look. But I know that they had that tattoo and the mark of the abyss or whatever it was called. There are 3 levels of contract. The shallow sea contract is a more minor pact. The deep sea and the deep, deep sea contracts are reserved for those who are to be bound fully to the true God. Ooh, this is interesting. Only 13 individuals in the entire world receive that privilege. What do you mean by God? Okay, so I assume we're talking about Emu and the powers that Emu bestows upon, the God's Knights and the Gorosei, right? That's where I'm thinking so far. There are 3 levels of contract. A shallow sea contract. Okay. 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 I have too many thoughts. I'm just gonna keep reading. You will only come to know the greatest depths of this world on the day you become a full knight of God. Could Elbaf become a member nation then? Naturally, Harold. At that point, the entire world would be clamoring to welcome you. I'm grateful for this opportunity to prove myself. And man, we know this isn't going to end well. And we got Garling with his little beard. The Knight's Temple, Shengara, domain of the gods. Captain of the Knights of God, Figureland family, Saint Garling. What is the Great One planning? You're gonna obey us even though you're king of Elbaf? Of course, just say the word. And we got Shamrock with the most punchable face I've seen in a very, very long time. And he has the same face as Shanks, but this one's just punchable, man, and Shanks isn't. And it's not because of the scar. Some people just have a punchable face. You know what I mean? We'll keep a long distance transponder snail on hand and call if we have need of you. You'll be free to travel the surface world, but you are forbidden to speak of our dealings. Understood. 20 years ago, Ryugu Kingdom, Fishman Island. I can hear the anime music now, especially with the bubbles floating up just before the scene opens up. You know what I'm talking about. And we got Mr. Jamon himself. I haven't laughed this hard in a long time, Neptune. Me too, pal Jamon. We both have our fair share of headaches, don't we? Dude, and look how small Neptune looks compared to Harold. He looks like if he would it looks like he wouldn't even come up to Harold's waist. To be honest, I don't think your son is that bad deep down. Let's not forget what your youth was like. Well, when you put it like that, I'm just being brutally honest. Anyway, did I tell you a fortune teller predicted I'd have a daughter in 4 years, Jamon? When the time is right, why don't we betroth Loki and my future daughter? And Harold's like, what? Huh? Now you're going too far. Cut it out. I mean, what is he freaking tickling him or something? Hey, don't write her off so fast. She's not going to be just any old mermaid. Also, like, if this is 20 years ago, there's going to be a pretty decent age gap here between Loki and Shirahoshi. Anyway, she's not just going to be any old mermaid. My daughter might well be born with a power no one else could ever hope to handle, Jamon. Well, now, that does sound like a perfect match. Let's have a toast. Because Loki has an uncontrollable power. He's got the fruit, man. He's got the Surtur fruit. His hammer's got the Surtur fruit. His hammer's got a fruit. He's got a fruit. Something's happening. And we all know it. I can't wait for the reveal. Here's to the futures of my mischievous troublemaker and your little Mosa Mosa. Don't call her that. She won't be Shaggy. And we got the little babies, Fukabosh and whatnot. That same year, Owl Library, Elbaf. Don't mention it. You're welcome to live freely here, Saul. Thanks a bunch. Yeah, because, all right, Saul just. Wait. No, never mind. Never mind. Actually, there's one thing I'd like to ask. What is it? If we get other learned folks on Elbaf to help, would you be willing to open a school here? A school, huh? That's a nice idea. 15 years ago, a major incident occurred at the Holy Land of Marijwa. And we got our boy Fisher Tiger. My slaves are running away. The cells are broken. Hurry, or do you want to be their pet forever? Dude, Fisher Tiger, such an underrated story. We're getting a lot of timeline, like big marks on the timeline here. Like, boom, this happened, then this happened. What are you playing at, Oda? Oh, shit. Shamrock? Damn it, is that a God's Knight? Fisher Tiger's running right into Shamrock. Wait, or is it? He breaks the chain. Listen, the armory will be left unlocked for you. I'll tell you the location. Dude, this is Shanks, man. That is Shanks. There's explosions everywhere, gunpowder. Hurry, big sis. Sandersonia. There's someone out there. Someone fighting to free us from this hell. Hurry, Koala, you have to run. This attack on the Holy Land was carried out by Fisher Tiger. Oh, sorry, that's not dialogue, that's the narrator. God, I hate seeing the sisters cry. Like, I hate seeing anybody young in One Piece cry, man. It breaks my heart. Especially Boa and Sandersonia, especially when their mouth goes like super wide and they're crying. Oh man, it breaks my heart. This attack on the Holy Land was carried out by Fisher Tiger. In the wake of this incident, he would go on to become captain of the Sun Pirates. Yeah, we're getting a lot. I have a feeling we're getting a lot of this because people are just joining in with the God Valley hype, I'm sure. Sounds like it was pretty rough. You have Harold speaking to Summers. They say someone with the government must have left the armory open for them. Yo, what's up, guys? The damned one. Yo, is that you, Shade? There's someone I want to introduce you to, Harold. His name is Shanks. Wait. Okay. No. No. What's happening? What's happening? His name is Shanks. Huh? Well, at this point, yeah, Shanks, the pirate crew would have been disbanded at this point. Are they okay? I'm not convinced that someone's not confusing the twins here or something. I don't know. Okay. He's Shamrock's younger brother. They were separated a long time ago due to circumstances. He suffered many hardships in the surface world. If he were to form a deep sea contract, I believe he'd make a great asset on par with Shamrock. He's Shamrock's younger brother. Dude, they're twins. I mean, I guess technically one came first. For the time being, however, he's been given the rank of God Steel, just like you. I know I said the same thing when I first met Shamrock too, but I can't shake the feeling that I've met you before. Yo, he's got the patch over his eye, man. Oh, dude, he already had the tussle with Blackbeard. Oh man, this is so fucking cool, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. You're just some giant commoner from the surface. Don't act so familiar with me. Dude, okay, is Shanks really talking like this though? This is not how younger Shanks talked on the crew, man, on Roger's crew. Oda's doing something right now, man. Like he has to be. He's doing something. I'm not entirely convinced quite yet that this is Shanks, but I feel like Shanks is the one who helped Tiger because Shamrock seems like he would never do that. But Shanks seems like if this is Shanks, that he would never say that. So what's going on? Don't act so familiar with me. I was blessed from birth with Figureland blood in my veins. Have no doubt, I'm going to become a knight of God before you. Guess I mistook you for someone else. Like, geez, sorry. It was Shanks who helped Tiger. Right. Like, it seemed like it would have been. But, like, this is okay. Wait, here we go. Next panel. We have Shanks and Shamrock. Come on, Shamrock. I wish to deepen my knowledge of the Holy Land. and I shall apprehend that traitor to claim the credit I deserve. Are there any leads? It can wait till your wounds are fully healed, Shanks. You cannot fathom the anguish of having the last 24 years of your life wasted. No wonder the rest of the world seems so alien to me. You cannot fathom the anguish of having the last 24 years of your life wasted. Dude, Godsteel devotee, Saint Shanks, and then we have Knight of God, Saint Shamrock. Dude, this is crazy. It's that authority changing him. It was Shanks who helped Tiger. Saint Shanks had that aura drip. Bro gave away his aura drip for freedom. Dude, they do, man. He looks like, okay, I don't know if you know this. It's giving me it's giving it's giving C word, but it's giving me Griffith vibes. And more specifically, the actor Bjorn Andresen, who Griffith is based off of. If you look up a picture of Bjorn Andresen, and he's got like and you'll see the picture, he's got the collared shirt from like he's an actor. Like, yeah. Uh he's got like the full floof collar, like jacket thing. Like this is giving God's Knights. It's giving Griffith a little bit. Dude, this is so sick. I say this like every week, I swear, but what a time to be a One Piece fan. And we have Shanks. I hated everything down there. Then we cut to Harold. We have some people swooning naturally. And we got the ellipses from Harold. He's in deep thought about something. I'm okay. This is interesting. I'm anxious to see. Is this a facade that Shanks is creating? Is he already the Shanks we know and love? Or are we going to see a transformation into the Shanks we know and love? Because what's not making sense is, Roger and Buggy or sorry, Shanks and Buggy after Roger's execution, and they're both like, Shanks is like, Buggy, join my crew, and he's like, no way, you're an idiot, join my crew or whatever. I would never work under you. So I think we all assumed, you know, very rightly so, that Shanks just immediately formed his own pirate crew after that. But that's not the case. It's all acting for a bigger cause. That's what I think, Shade. Like, it feels like a ploy because we know Shanks is like playing 4D chess. Obviously, he bet his arm on the new generation. Luffy said the thing that Roger said, right? He's way smarter than we are giving him credit for, in the sense that we haven't seen him be super, super high IQ, but I think he is. That same year, the fishing village on Elbaf. Man, I feel like this is a long chapter. It's no good. My medical knowledge is too limited. Let's call Harold and see if he can get us in touch with a more skilled doctor. Don't. He's got a lot on his plate now. What's the point of fostering a network with the world government if we don't use it? We have Ida here. I can recover on my own. Chapter title, Ida's son. I think we're talking about a little more than God, what's his name? I'm blanking. Haruden. She having another child? You keep saying that, but you're getting weaker by the day. You have to get better, Harold. Or I'm sorry, you have to get better. Harold will be heartbroken if you don't, you know? Whenever Harold's home, he always goes straight to the elders and begs them to allow you to legally marry. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped the bottom part of Ida. Uh, Mado, keep the tavern open. No way. How can I when you're this sick, Ida? Okay, back to where we would have been. And begs them to allow you two to legally marry. That fool. He knows I'm happy with my tavern. I enjoy befriending sailors from all over the world. It's Ida's sons. It may not be much, but I feel like I'm helping Harold by doing that. She's too good for this world, man. And we know what happens to the good mothers and wives of One Piece. I'm not looking forward to it. Hey, foreign hag. What? Loki? Cook up this meat for the old hag, will ya? The tavern's my main hangout spot. I want her to reopen it. Good grief, that troublemaker has grown out of hand. I'm glad you've been able to keep him in line. Even with Haruden and his friends away, looking for a looking for a doctor, your boys really love you. And I like too that, right, like it seems like Loki was like, I'm pure blood, Ida, you're bad blood, right? But obviously his mother's been Loki's mother has been dead for quite some time at this point. So it makes sense that, I do love this kind of, you know, he calls her old hag, yes, but yeah, he loves her, man. Everyone's blowing this out of proportion. I'll be fine, but it does make me smile. It won't be fine, Ida, and it's making me preemptively sad. Elbaf, Alcohol Village, hometown of Loki's birth mother. Huh? What'd you just say? We were talking about how utterly unbearable it'd be to let that foreign bitch worm her way into the royal family. You're with us, right, Loki? We're Estrid's relatives. She was Harold's true wife. We can't let anyone have claim on our inheritance. That's why I slipped her a dose of poison. This stuff is fatal. Her days are numbered. Oh no, dude. This is not going to fly. This is not going to fly. Mato, we can't. We can't hold off on ringing Harold anymore. On it. We may not be related by blood, but I see him the same way I do Harridan. Loki is still my cute little son. Loki, hey, Ida isn't really gonna die, right? I still remember my birth mother. She hated me. She had me thrown into the realm of the dead. Who gives a shit about inheritance? Your whole family is nothing but trash. Now answer. Ida won't actually die, right? She's. I bet you must get pretty lonely, right, Loki? Wouldn't it be better to stay with us? She's the only mother I've ever known. His true feelings pour out. Ah. All right, we're back. Damn, man. My queen Ida. Oh, dude. Oda knows how to make me emotional, man. Oh, brother. Oh, man. Another 10 out of 10, dude. Another 10 out of 10. We get some of the recap, which I think is for some of the newer readers, but it's still nice and refreshing. We get a little more. We get a little more canon stuff with Fisher, obviously. I think someone's calling me. Never mind. And yeah, Shanks. Yeah. Okay. what you had said, Shade, about like, Shanks is, it's all a ploy for the bigger cause, which is what it seemed like to me too. I think, yeah, we can roll with that because Shanks helped out Fisher Tiger. We got one goat helping out another goat. And we love to see it. Oh, and Boa crying, man. And we get the same panel that we do from the anime. Um, and maybe even the manga. I don't remember that far back of, yeah, when Bo was explaining, her freedom and like her kind of running away. Saint Shanks. Yeah, so yeah, he says you cannot fathom the anguish of having the last 24 years of your life wasted. Clearly, he was down on the Blue Sea. That's where he got the scar from Blackbeard, which, oh, I cannot wait. We better on God, we better get a flashback of the sneak that Blackbeard gave Shanks, because that's what seems to be implied. And yeah, we get Loki with as you've pointed out, Shade, with that tsundere love for Ida. Oscar level performance, he says. Dude, yeah. Shanks is big brain. He's got hella gray matter. He's got hella folds. Einstein would be jealous. And yeah, and then we get this with this, yeah, the tsundere love turns into the violent love. She's the only mother I've ever known. Dude, if Ida dies this way, man, that's gonna be such. She dies from a random freaking relative of Estrid, and a guy who's got like a big dick and balls for a face. Man, that's gonna suck, dude. I hope she doesn't die, but I feel like she's going to. From this freaking, his face looks like a foot with balls on the bottom of it. Dude, please, man. I'm coping, but let's pray together. Yes. Like, but I just feel like he's set it up. She's gonna die, man. She's gonna die. I'm pissed. We have no break next week, which is crazy. We always love to see that. I need to mute my phone. What the hell? Dude, what do you think, Shade? 10 out of 10? I mean, it's got to be, right? I feel like it's one of the easiest 10 out of 10s I've seen in a long time. And it was really long, too. Like, this was a long chapter. Maybe there was just more things to read, and so therefore it took longer, but I feel like it's just a long chapter. I got to see my goat Summers, so hell yeah. Yeah, I knew it, dude. When you came in, I knew you were gonna be talking about Summers, man. And Garling is looking pretty suave too. And Shade, help me out with this. Remember in when we were in Elbaf, which seems so long ago, and we got the reveal about the tattoos with the God's Knights, like the mark of the abyss, right? Is that does Harold now have that on his arm, or is that just a random tattoo? I forget what the mark looked like. I wanna check some of the previous chapters, but Oda made it a point to show that. Summer's tattoo was higher, but Shanks and Harold has the same one. Okay. That's what I thought. Cause like, yeah, Oda has made a very clear point to show us that tattoo. I'm trying to find which chapter it is where we saw it. I'm in like 1149 right now. Is it before or after? But yeah, it seemed like the mark. Dude, and also, so how did Harold die, man? Like that's what I'm like, okay, if he's got the mark, if he's with the God's Knights, then how, you know what I mean? Like that death also seems way more suspicious than it even originally was to begin with. 1152. Okay. 1152 me. An awful day. An awful day indeed, man. Ida's about to die, man. Okay, okay. Yeah, man, they're all just like stabbing him and shit. Yes. Yes. Okay, so this is actually what a great call. We get the tattoo of Shanks, and then we also get Harold dying allegedly by just getting stabbed by a bunch of mofos. And we got Ripley being an absolute babe. Can't forget about her. Okay. Yeah. And Shanks gets his freaking arm cut off. We see Shanks with the tattoo in 1152 as well, near the bottom. But yeah, I'm gonna look at 1153 real quick. Um, so what did the community decide? Does Shanks still have the tattoo? I feel like it was cut off, but it's so hard to tell. Like Oda could mess with the arm cut, or where his arm was severed, or he could mess with the placement of the tattoo, right? Like he's done stuff like that before. I feel like it would I feel like I could see a world where Shanks still has the tattoo to kinda have like an ace in the hole kinda thing, or maybe the tattoo is also, like, has to do with the powers that Emu bestows upon, you know, the people with contracts. And so even if you I'm bringing that up to say, like, maybe even if you do have the tattoo, but uh, Emu has revoked the powers, that the tattoo it's just a tattoo now. It's just a regular old tattoo, and that it's not indicative of like the power. But I could definitely see a world, dude. I mean, how hard would it be if Shanks, like, if we see like the pentacle circle on the ground, and then we're like, oh my god, who is it? And then Shanks, pops up, right? And that would also explain why he's able to travel everywhere super fast. He's got to for sure have it, man. That's how he showed up to Marineford so quickly. He's got to still have it. Dude, I'm excited. I'm pumped. Dude, next week is going to be crazy. We're wrapping up the God Valley. We're going to jump back to um the present moment. And we last were in like in the present in 1152, I believe. Yes. Um Yes. Yes, I believe 1152 was our last present moment, because we get the birth of Loki in the next chapter. So Summers was 1140, just checked. Okay, yeah, let me peep that real quick. Scopper Gyaban with the does Scopper Gyaban got the Gyat? I feel so old saying that. I regret saying that. Let's see. Show me Summers. Okay, yes. I see it. Yes, he's got the half sleeve going on, pulling up in the boxers. What a reveal. Goddamn Lamau Unk. Dude, yeah. Unk. Dude, it's good to be an Unk, man. When you're a nephew for so long, feels good. I understand dad jokes a lot better. So I hope I'm not a dad, actually. That would be, I hope that doesn't correlate with me understanding dad jokes a lot better. That'd be a crazy surprise. Summers is the goat of shade, everyone. The damned one. Saint Quillingham. Killingham. Dude, I'm pumped. I'm getting ready to wrap up the stream though. This was such a sick chapter. I was super busy this weekend, so I had to do a little late stream tonight, but dude, so glad I didn't hold this off any later. It's nice doing a little nighttime stream though, too. Shade, before you leave, would since you're the OG here, do you do afternoon streams work better for you or like nighttime streams? Or like, later streams in the evening like this one? Because I don't mind either way. And I just want to like see kind of what's good for you. This time is perfect? Okay, well then this Saturday, yeah, we'll shoot for like, an evening like 7, 8, maybe 9. I started at 9 o'clock, I think, on the dot, or pretty close to it, like 8:58 or something like that. Um, so yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I'll see you Saturday night, dude. Everyone else for watching the video, appreciate it if you do. Can't wait to see you guys in the next one, hopefully. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you guys back here for 11:68. So peace. Have a safe week.